The individual who masters his mind masters his destiny. In a world that screams, a calm mind is not merely a tool, it is a weapon. Not a weapon that destroys, but one that deflects chaos, eliminates fear, and pierces through the distractions that weaken the average man's will. When your mind is calm, you are no longer reacting to life, you are creating it. The first truth one must understand is that external events, no matter how severe or sudden, do not hold the power to disturb your peace unless you grant them access. Your calm mind is the guardian of your vision. It is the fortress behind which your power gathers, grows, and is launched with precision. It is the command center of all achievement. Consider for a moment how few people truly operate from a state of calm. Look around you, observe how quickly the masses panic, how easily emotions spiral into confusion, how swiftly fear steals reason. The man or woman who keeps a composed mind in the face of adversity, who maintains focus amidst pressure, is already ahead of the multitude, not because their circumstances are easier, but because their discipline is stronger. You must understand that calmness is not passivity, it is not weakness, it is not indifference. Calmness is the refinement of strength. It is the mind that refuses to be pulled and twisted by every temporary difficulty. It is the evidence of mental mastery, the product of inner work. It is developed, it is built, it is conditioned. To wield the calm mind as a weapon, you must begin with the decision to reject panic as a habit. You must resolve never to make permanent decisions based on temporary emotions. A calm mind allows you to think when others lose their ability to reason. It gives you power over your own instincts, and he who controls his instincts controls his outcomes. The calm mind knows that storms pass. It studies patterns. It does not rush. It listens deeply. It observes. While others are overtaken by urgency and emotion, the calm mind waits, plans, and strikes only when necessary, and always with purpose. All the great men of history, all the titans of industry, the builders of empires, the thinkers who reshaped civilization, each possessed the ability to maintain a still mind in the face of turmoil. It was not because they had fewer battles. It was because they trained themselves to remain composed in the fire. They refused to surrender their thinking faculties to fear, and so they saw opportunities where others only saw danger. The calm mind does not arise by accident. It is the result of deliberate practice. The first discipline is the mastery of thought. Thoughts are the architects of your inner climate. What you think habitually, you become emotionally. Therefore, if you think fear, you will feel panic. If you think confusion, you will feel weakness. But if you think clarity, you will feel control. If you think purpose, you will feel power. And what you feel consistently becomes the energy that radiates from you. People will feel your calm before you even speak. Situations will bend to your resolve. Environments will respond to your presence because calmness is a language. Silent, yet forceful. The individual who has trained their nervous system not to collapse under stress has already achieved what most never will, self-control. You must therefore take this seriously. The calm mind is not something to entertain once life becomes easy. It is the very tool that makes life manageable. Without it, you are at the mercy of everything around you. With it, you rise above every reaction. You will find, as you build this weapon, that peace becomes your default state. Not because there is no conflict, but because you no longer allow conflict to dictate your direction. You will develop the ability to move through pressure with grace, to speak with clarity when others are emotional, and to act with confidence when others hesitate. The individual who begins the journey of mastering his calm will quickly discover that the greatest battles he faces are not external but internal. Noise exists in the world, yes, but the real battlefield is within the mind. And the only way to conquer that battlefield is through daily, deliberate self-command. Every thought that arises, every emotion that stirs, these are soldiers, and you are their general. You must learn to observe without reacting. The average person lives in a state of automatic reaction, stimulus followed by impulse. Someone insults them, they retaliate. Life disappoints them, they collapse. but the one who rules with a calm mind pauses between the stimulus and the response. In that space, they reclaim their authority. In that space, they remain sovereign. The calm mind chooses its words carefully. It does not blurt out from fear or anger. It calculates, it speaks with direction, and because it is not bound by emotional bondage, its words have more influence. The world listens more closely to the calm voice in the storm. When chaos rages and a calm man speaks, people lean in. Now, observe the patterns of success in the world of enterprise and leadership. Who advances, who thrives. It is not always the most talented. It is not always the most educated. It is the man or woman who can remain collected under pressure, who can organize their thoughts when others unravel. Calmness breeds clarity. Clarity breeds execution. Execution breeds achievement. The calm mind is not built in comfort. It is forged in moments of stress. It is shaped in the fire of rejection, delay, pressure, and opposition. You must not run from these moments. You must embrace them as your training ground. Each time you feel the emotional wave rise and choose stillness instead, you are strengthening the muscle of mental calm. Over time, you will notice that situations that once broke you now barely move you. And this is not to say you become numb or cold, no, quite the opposite. A calm mind feels deeply, but it does not drown. A calm mind sees clearly, but it is not paralyzed. A calm mind accepts reality, but it never surrenders to despair. It uses every challenge as fuel. It extracts wisdom from every blow. It listens to the world, but answers only to truth. You must now consider how your calm mind will serve you in your relationships. In conflict, the one who remains calm controls the dialogue. They diffuse tension, and in doing so, they preserve influence. The person who loses their calm loses their power. They may scream, they may threaten, but their voice becomes noise. Meanwhile, the calm voice becomes law, not by force, but by presence. In business negotiations, the calm mind is an advantage beyond value. While others reveal desperation, a calm man sits with patience. He listens. He watches. He sees what others miss. He detects weakness. He senses hidden agendas. Because he is not clouded by emotion, his strategy is sharper. He does not rush to close a deal. He waits to create one. And when he acts from strength, not scarcity. Even in the realm of creativity and innovation, a calm mind is essential. The mind in panic cannot produce original ideas. It clings to survival. But a calm mind opens. It explores. It plays with ideas like a sculptor with clay. In the stillness, genius whispers. In the calm, invention is born. You must also understand the role of calmness in decision-making. Every great decision, every life-altering, destiny-shaping decision must be made from a state of inner calm. The mind agitated by stress is unreliable. It cannot see beyond immediate relief. But the calm mind sees the entire field. It considers time, consequence, and alignment. It asks, does this action serve my long-term purpose, or is it simply an escape from discomfort? When you possess a calm mind, you will also find that your energy becomes more powerful. You will attract those who crave stability. People will look to you not because of what you say, but because of how you carry yourself. Your peace will become a magnet. And in that energy, you will begin to influence not just individuals, but atmospheres. Do not underestimate the power of stillness. The world teaches us to move fast, to speak loud, to react quickly. But the great ones know the secret. Stillness is the hidden source of strength. The calm mind thinks before it speaks, acts before it panics, leads before it reacts. And because of this, it moves mountains with minimal motion. Let others live in anxiety, let others chase noise. You are on a different path now, the path of calm mastery. The weapon you are crafting is invisible but undeniable. It will shield you in chaos, guide you in uncertainty, and elevate you in every arena of life. But you must guard it. You must protect your calm the way a warrior protects his sword. You do not hand it over to every passerby. You do not let others provoke you into surrender. There will be many who try to steal your peace, people who gossip, argue, manipulate, or offend. But understand this, when they succeed in stealing your calm, they gain power over you. And when you maintain your calm, you remain free. Emotional control is liberation. The building of a calm mind requires daily attention. Begin each day with silence. Train your mind in stillness before you train it in productivity. Let your thoughts settle. Let your heart align. Let your purpose remind you that you are not here to react, you are here to build. The calm mind is not reserved for moments of solitude alone. It must become your state in the middle of noise. Anyone can be calm on a quiet morning with no demands, but few can maintain that calm during heated conflict, disappointment, or unexpected failure. That is the test. That is the proving ground. A calm mind must not be seasonal. It must not depend on the weather or your paycheck or other people's mood. It must be internal, consistent, reliable, something you bring to the table every time, everywhere. When you reach that point, when calmness becomes your default operating mode, you stop reacting to life and start commanding it. This kind of mastery begins with daily rituals. You do not stumble into calmness. You condition it like a muscle. You rise early, not out of obligation, but out of intention. You seek silence before the world speaks. You take control of your breath before stress even enters the room. And most importantly, you guard your first thoughts of the day, because those first thoughts set the tone for the next 24 hours. In your calm mind lies the blueprint for your future. Every great vision is birthed in a quiet moment. Every breakthrough you're seeking, whether personal, financial, spiritual, or relational, will arrive through a still, organized, and focused mind. Without that, your actions are scattered. Your energy is divided. And divided energy produces divided results. Now, let's speak about pressure. The person with a calm mind under pressure becomes a force to be reckoned with. When others lose their heads, this person finds opportunity. While the crowd moves in fear, this person moves in focus. Think about it. Most people freeze or flee when crisis comes. But the calm-minded individual pauses, breathes, and proceeds with precise, calculated action. That is power. There are people who will try to provoke you, not because they want to break you, but because your calm unsettles them. Your stillness confronts their chaos. Your peace exposes their turmoil. And you must not engage. You must not trade your composure for their confusion. If they succeed in pulling you into their emotional storm, you lose the weapon that sets you apart. Even in competition, whether in business, leadership, or creative pursuits, the calm mind gives you an unfair advantage. Why? Because you can think longer. You can see wider. You're not distracted by ego or panic. You see the long game. You see past the noise. You stay rooted while others sway with trends and opinions. And that kind of person becomes magnetic. That kind of leader becomes unstoppable. A calm mind also creates resilience. Life will hit you. Life will surprise you. But when you have inner stillness, you're not easily knocked off balance. Yes, you feel the blow. Yes, you may stagger for a moment, but you recover quickly. You analyze without emotion. You make decisions without haste. That's what separates the ordinary from the exceptional. The calm mind is also a healer. It restores your nervous system. It reduces fear, anxiety, and overthinking. It brings your scattered thoughts into alignment. And when your thoughts are aligned, your actions become powerful. You're no longer wasting time doubting, defending, or chasing. You are moving forward with complete clarity. People often confuse action with effectiveness. They rush, they hustle, they burn themselves out in a frenzy of activity. But a calm mind chooses deliberate movement. It doesn't waste energy. It doesn't follow noise. It creates it. It shapes environments instead of reacting to them. Your calm mind also becomes your defense. In difficult conversations, your calmness disarms hostility. In arguments, your silence is louder than shouting. In disappointment, your composure becomes your testimony. You send a message to the world: I am not governed by external events. I am ruled by my principles. And here's the truth. The world gives authority to those who are calm. People follow confidence. They trust a steady hand, the business partner who doesn't flinch in a downturn, the coach who doesn't panic in the final minutes, the parent who speaks peace into a chaotic home, the visionary who stands still while others scream. These are the ones who lead movements. These are the ones who lead legacies. To maintain a calm mind, you must become the master of your internal dialogue. Your self-talk must be powerful, intentional, and aligned with your vision. You do not say, "I can't." You say, "I will find a way." You do not say, "I'm overwhelmed." You say, "I am focused." You do not say, "This is too much." You say, "I am equipped for this moment." Your mind believes what you tell it. Your nervous system responds to your words. So speak the language of strength. Speak the language of peace. Your calm mind is the product of repeated mental conditioning. And the more you train it, the more it becomes your identity. Now, understand this. When you step into rooms with a calm mind, your energy changes the environment. People sense it. They feel safer, stronger, and clearer around you. You become an anchor in their storm. And in doing so, you create influence without effort. You begin to realize that silence is often more powerful than speech, that waiting is often more strategic than rushing, that knowing when to pause is more intelligent than always pushing forward. You become tuned to the rhythms of wisdom, and wisdom always favors the still mind. Calmness is the soil in which self-awareness grows. When you're calm, you can see your own patterns clearly. You notice your triggers. You recognize your fears. You observe your thoughts like clouds passing in the sky. You're not attached. You're just aware. And in that awareness, you gain authority over yourself. That is the real victory, not authority over others, but over self. Because once you control your mind, your emotions, and your reactions, there is no force on earth that can enslave you again. You are free. You are focused. You are dangerous to mediocrity. When your calm mind becomes your weapon, you don't just navigate life, you command it. Your calm mind is not just a tool for survival. It is a magnetic force that attracts wealth. Why? Because wealth does not come to those who are frantic. It comes to those who can think clearly under pressure, who can stay still long enough to see the opportunity others miss. A scattered mind chases every shiny object. A calm mind builds one clear, unshakable vision. You must understand the greatest fortunes in the world were built by people who stayed calm while others lost their heads. Economic collapse, they stayed calm. Market panic, they stayed calm. Public doubt, they stayed calm. And because they didn't flinch, they could act with precision. They bought when others were afraid. They created when others withdrew. They planned when others panicked. Calmness gave them the edge. It always does. Calmness is not weakness. It is dominance in silence. A calm entrepreneur doesn't talk too much. They listen. They observe. They absorb data others overlook. Then they strike with intention. No wasted movement, no wasted emotion, no wasted decisions. That's how empires are built. And what about relationships? A calm mind is the foundation of emotional intelligence. When you're calm, you don't say things you regret, you don't overreact, you don't take everything personally, you learn to respond, not react, and in that space between stimulus and response lies your power. The calm mind creates room for patience, empathy, clarity, and those are the ingredients for lasting connection. People crave peace in friendships, in love, in family. They are drawn to those who bring stability, not drama, not chaos, not insecurity, but grounding. You don't need to raise your voice to be heard. You don't need to fight to prove your point. When your calm energy walks into a room, people notice. They may not know why they feel better around you, but they do. And they'll come back again and again. And then there's health. Do not overlook this. A calm mind extends your life. Anxiety destroys the body. Stress poisons the bloodstream. Anger accelerates decay. But calmness, true, deep, habitual calmness, lowers blood pressure, balances hormones, restores the immune system, and improves sleep. You don't just feel better, you are better. Think about this. When you're calm, your breathing slows. Your heart rate stabilizes, your mind stops spinning, you make clearer choices, you digest food better, you sleep deeper, you function on a higher frequency. And in that space, your body begins to heal. Your energy replenishes. Your focus sharpens. This is not mystical, it is biological. The calm mind becomes a vessel of vitality. Let's talk leadership. Every great leader has a calm mind. You cannot lead people through fire if you're panicking. You cannot cast vision if you're emotionally unstable. The world doesn't follow the loudest voice. It follows the steadiest one, the calmest one, the one who doesn't need to prove anything. Leadership is about decision making, and decisions made in panic are always flawed. But the leader who can pause, breathe, detach from the storm, and observe from above, they make decisions that move nations, transform companies, and build dynasties. Calmness makes you that kind of leader. And let us not forget discipline. Your calm mind gives you control over cravings, distractions, temptations, and habits. Most people fall because they react to every impulse. But when you're calm, you create a buffer, a space, a moment to ask, is this choice aligned with my vision, or is it a shortcut that will cost me more later? That one pause, that moment of calm, can save you from years of regret. It can keep you from sending the message you can't take back. It can stop you from quitting on a dream just because today feels heavy. The calm mind speaks to you with reason. It reminds you of your why when the world screams, forget it. Let me tell you something else. The calm mind is rare, and the rare is always valuable. In a world filled with noise, speed, and constant stimulation, the person who can sit in silence and hear their inner voice becomes unstoppable. The world reacts, you create. The world copies, you innovate. The world moves with the crowd, you move with intention. Your calm mind also gives you access to the higher self, the part of you that sees beyond the current moment, the part of you that says, this pain is temporary, stay on course, the part of you that says, don't chase approval, build integrity. That voice is quiet. It is not found in anxiety. It is found in stillness. Even in spiritual matters, calmness is sacred. In the quiet of your soul, you hear the deepest truths. In the silence of your mind, you connect to purpose. When you're calm, you're no longer distracted by ego, comparison, or insecurity. You are aligned with your values, your calling, your core. That's where greatness comes from. People think greatness is fire and fury. No. Greatness is controlled fire. It is silent strength. It is power without the need to prove it. It is impact that speaks without shouting, and all of that begins with a mind. Your calm mind is your empire. Protect it at all costs. Protect it from gossip, from negativity, from overthinking, from people who live in emotional chaos. Protect it like your life depends on it, because it does. Your future, your family, your finances, your focus, your freedom, all of it hinges on your ability to stay calm when it counts. Do you know what separates the average from the elite? One thing, mental composure. The average crumble under criticism. The elite use it as fuel. The average react to failure. The elite extract wisdom from it. The average blame. The elite take responsibility. And the gateway to that elite level is calmness. It isn't about personality. It's about discipline. You can train yourself to be calm. You can teach yourself to sit with discomfort. You can learn to breathe when others rush. You can build the muscle of stillness in a frantic world. And once you do, your presence alone becomes transformational. You walk into meetings with quiet authority. You sit in chaos without becoming part of it. You make fewer moves, but they're stronger. You speak less, but your words carry weight. You're not looking for attention. You are attention. You are presence. And what happens when the calm mind becomes your lifestyle? You move through the world with grace. You stop chasing. You start attracting. You stop reacting. You start responding. You stop trying to control everything and realize you control yourself, and that is enough. That's the shift. That's the power. That's the weapon. In the battle of life, it is not always the strongest who win, but the ones who can stay calm when the pressure is greatest. The battlefield belongs to the mind first, before it belongs to the world. A calm mind is not passive, it is tactical. It sees further, it calculates longer, it endures stronger, and it strikes only when it chooses, not when it's provoked. That's what separates a champion from a victim. The victim reacts to every obstacle. The champion remains still, studies the terrain, and moves when it matters. The person who lets their emotions run wild is like a horse with no reins. But the one who rules their emotions, who holds still in the eye of the storm, that person has mastered the battlefield of the mind. And let me tell you, that mastery doesn't happen by chance. It is trained. It is forged through trials. When you train your mind to be calm in frustration, you are building internal armor. When you breathe through pain instead of panicking, you are sharpening your sword. When you choose patience over anger, clarity over drama, wisdom over noise, you are loading the chamber of your greatest weapon, your calm mind. Think of a great inventor. Ideas don't come to the restless. Creativity is not born in chaos. It is born in the quiet. It comes when the mind is undisturbed, unshaken, unbothered. The greatest ideas in history did not arrive in a frenzy. They came in solitude, in silence, in still waters. You want to create something that lasts? Still your mind. You want to build something the world will remember? Still your fears. Calmness is not about slowing down. It's about powering up with precision. When your mind is calm, you make strategic moves instead of impulsive ones. You don't chase shiny distractions. You stay married to your mission. While others waste energy fighting battles that don't matter, you conserve strength for the one that does. And what happens when challenges come? Because they will come. People will provoke you. Situations will test you. Time will pressure you. But a calm mind does not crack. A calm mind does not retaliate. A calm mind responds with control, with discipline, with grace. Here's the truth. Anyone can appear confident when things are easy, but real strength is revealed when everything's falling apart and you remain composed. Your calm mind becomes a lighthouse when the storm rages around you. People look to you, not because you shout louder, but because your silence is stronger than their panic. Even in business, the calm mind reigns supreme. The volatile entrepreneur burns out, the desperate salesman loses respect, the anxious leader loses loyalty, but the one who stays calm under fire becomes the one others trust. Because calmness reflects control. It signals vision. It communicates power without arrogance, stability without fear. Don't just manage stress, master it. Don't just suppress emotions, shape them. You can be passionate without being volatile. You can be intense without being frantic. The greatest power is not in noise, but in stillness. And when your calm mind leads, your world follows. Calmness gives you perspective. It widens the lens. It allows you to zoom out and see beyond the moment. Because what seems like a crisis today may be your greatest opportunity tomorrow if you stay calm enough to see it. It's not that the calm person avoids pain, they just transform it. Pain becomes fuel. Delay becomes preparation. Setbacks become redirection. Because the calm mind doesn't obsess over what it cannot control, it invests in what it can. Your thoughts shape your reality. If your mind is filled with panic, you will attract confusion. If your mind is filled with fear, you will attract limitation. But if your mind is calm, focused, and ready, you will begin to see doors where others see walls. You will see solutions others can't even imagine. A calm mind brings power not only in the external world, but in the inner one. It breaks the grip of insecurity. It silences self-doubt. It destroys the illusion of fear. The calm mind says, I am enough. It does not chase validation. It does not need applause. It already knows its worth. And that confidence, that unshakable self-trust becomes magnetic. The calm mind also becomes your filter. It decides what deserves your attention and what doesn't. It keeps you from chasing every opinion, every comment, every distraction. It gives you the mental clarity to say, that is not my path, and keep walking forward with power. When you develop the habit of stillness, your mind becomes fertile ground for wisdom. Your instincts sharpen, your discernment grows, your ability to read people, navigate situations, and make decisions becomes almost supernatural. Because you're not caught in the noise. You're tuned in to something deeper. The person who remains calm in every situation becomes the one who holds the highest ground. They cannot be baited, they cannot be tricked, they cannot be emotionally manipulated. They are too grounded, too focused, too aware. And that awareness, that ability to feel without drowning, to think without spiraling, to act without reacting, is a superpower. It allows you to live intentionally, speak wisely, move efficiently, and lead others to higher ground. When others are anxious, you breathe. When others are scattered, you simplify. When others fight for control, you flow with focus. That's how you rise. That's how you win. That's how you dominate not just the day, but the decade. Let me ask you, how much energy have you lost to overthinking? How many opportunities have you missed because of emotional impulse? How many relationships have been strained because you couldn't pause before reacting? Now, imagine the opposite. You walk into every room with peace. You begin every challenge with clarity. You face every decision with wisdom. You speak with precision. You rest without guilt. You execute with excellence. All of it because you have mastered the calm mind. The calm mind builds empires. Empires of wealth, empires of love, empires of purpose. Not overnight, but day by day, choice by choice, breath by breath. Calmness is not something you hope for. It's something you build. The storms will always come, but the calm mind is the shelter. The world will always be chaotic, but the calm mind is the compass. And the future will always be uncertain, but the calm mind is the captain. The calm mind is not built in a moment of silence. It is built by confronting chaos and remaining unmoved. It is a discipline forged not by retreat, but by resistance. You do not acquire a calm mind by running from the storm. You acquire it by walking into the storm with your soul anchored, your vision unshaken, your will undisturbed. Think about it. Every time life hands you a situation that tries to break you, it's also handing you a doorway to power. When someone disrespects you and you choose dignity over retaliation, you are building your throne. When failure tempts you into panic and you choose analysis over emotion, you are stepping into mastery. True mastery is invisible at first. It's in the breath you take instead of yelling. It's in the silence you keep instead of defending. It's in the moment you observe instead of reacting. These moments compound, and before long, people begin to notice something about you. They can't rattle you. They can't predict you. They can't manipulate you. You become someone with depth. Depth is rare. People who carry calmness radiate something others can't quite name, but they want it. That energy becomes your advantage. In meetings, your calmness speaks louder than words. In negotiations, your steady energy becomes leverage. In conflict, your refusal to be drawn into chaos becomes dominance. Let me tell you something vital. People remember how you made them feel, not just what you said, not just what you did, but what they felt in your presence. A calm mind produces calm energy, and calm energy invites trust. It draws opportunity. It inspires respect. It becomes magnetic, not because it shouts, but because it doesn't need to. You can walk into a room and say nothing, but your presence will rearrange the atmosphere. Why? Because your mind is not seeking attention. It's holding direction. You're not trying to prove yourself. You're already rooted in your own worth. And that kind of peace is rare in a world filled with noise. You want to be unforgettable? Calm your mind. You want to be a leader people trust? Calm your mind. You want to be the one who brings order where others bring confusion? Train your mind to be still. That's your edge. That's your power. That's your invisible weapon. Now, understand this. A calm mind is not born of privilege. It is born of preparation. You don't stumble into calmness. You train for it. You cultivate it like a warrior prepares for battle. You don't wait until chaos erupts to learn peace. You install peace before the chaos ever comes. This means you set time aside daily for silence, for reflection, for mental conditioning. You journal your thoughts. You track your emotions. You study your triggers. You create space in your mind, just like an athlete creates space in their body for movement. This is not soft work. This is mental warfare. When you begin each day in silence, you begin it with power. Before the world can throw anything at you, you've already taken command of yourself. You've already positioned your mind to respond instead of react. You've already chosen who you are, so you don't need the day to decide it for you. You don't check your phone first, you check your focus. You don't scroll through chaos, you scroll through clarity. And this habit, repeated daily, begins to carve a mind that remains calm, even when everything else is on fire. You can't pour calmness into a turbulent mind. You have to clear out the noise. You have to detox the internal dialogue, the self-judgment, the panic, the imaginary catastrophes. Flush them out. Replace them with vision, with intent, with purpose. The more intentional you are, the less reactive you become. The more you know where you're going, the less you care about what distracts. Clarity becomes your filter, purpose becomes your shield, and calmness becomes your natural state, not because life is easy, but because your foundation is unshakable. Have you ever noticed how the most powerful people don't yell? They speak slowly, they breathe deeply, they choose words like a craftsman chooses tools. That's not accidental. That's not weakness. That's the mark of a mind that has been forged through discipline. A mind that no longer seeks chaos, but builds legacy. A calm mind doesn't just affect how you feel. It affects how you think. It sharpens creativity. It multiplies ideas. It gives you the ability to see what others miss, because your vision isn't clouded by anxiety. While others are busy reacting, you are busy strategizing. You're not guessing, you're calculating, you're not stumbling. Calmness increases accuracy. It enhances timing. It makes you a sniper in a world of wild shooters. You don't need to chase every target. You wait for the right one and strike with precision. That's what a calm mind gives you, the edge of timing, the luxury of clarity, the freedom of choice. And when setbacks come, as they always do, you don't spiral, you study. You don't break, you bend. You don't crumble, you evolve. That's the power of a still mind. It allows you to rebuild faster, pivot smarter, and rise higher. This is where calmness becomes more than a personal trait. It becomes a spiritual discipline. You realize you are not just thoughts. You are the one watching those thoughts. You are not just feelings, you are the one shaping those feelings. You step into the seat of control, the pilot's seat, and from there you steer your life with intention. Emotions are messengers, not masters. Let them come, let them speak, but do not let them drive. You drive. You decide, you respond. Let the world get loud, let the noise rise, let the chaos spin. Your calm mind doesn't flinch. It listens. It learns. It waits. Then it moves with strength, not speed. Your calm mind is not a defense mechanism. It's not a shield to hide behind. It is a sword. It is your most dangerous advantage. Because while others waste energy in panic, you conserve energy for performance. While others get distracted by every headline, you focus on your headline. While others doubt, you do. While others worry, you work. This is what separates the great from the average. The great don't rush. They don't flail. They don't feed their fears. They feed their vision. And that vision is guarded by a calm, deliberate, focused, and unshakable mind. You must realize that the calm mind does not emerge in absence of pressure. It develops because of it. Diamonds are not formed in gentle atmospheres. They are formed under pressure. And just like that, your calmness is formed in the weight of adversity, in the testing ground of struggle, in the furnace of delay, and in the silence of misunderstood greatness. The world will test you. It will push every emotional button you have. It will call you names, misunderstand your intentions, twist your words, delay your progress, insult your discipline. And you must remain unmoved, not because you're passive, not because you're weak, but because you are anchored in something they cannot see, anchored in vision, anchored in purpose, anchored in the long game. There is a version of you who no longer overreacts to life, who no longer lets small minds pull you into their storms, who no longer entertains distractions masked as opportunities. That version of you is waiting, but only a calm mind can bring that version into reality. You cannot unlock your full potential with a mind at war. You need stillness to receive vision. You need space to hear direction. You need peace to create power. And here's what so few understand. Calmness is a form of control. The man or woman who controls their mind can control the outcome. Maybe not immediately, maybe not publicly, but ultimately. Control your inner world and the outer world bends to your authority, because the world bows to those who have conquered themselves. If you want to rise to the top of any field, don't just master your craft, master your mind. You'll outlast them, outthink them, outfocus them. While they run on emotion, you move with execution. While they talk about it, you're becoming it. While they complain, you are capitalizing. Not because you're lucky, but because you are calm. Your calm mind is not a moment. It is a method. It is a pattern you build, a strategy you live, a decision you make every single day, hour by hour, moment by moment. You no longer allow outside events to hijack your internal state. You no longer allow people's chaos to pollute your peace. You are selective with your focus. You are disciplined with your thoughts. You are ruthless with your energy. And when the pressure builds, you don't collapse. You sharpen. You breathe deeper, you speak slower, you move smarter. Because you have trained for this, you have conditioned your nervous system not to betray you. You have taught your mind to act like a surgeon, not a soldier. Precise, calm, calculated. The greatest leaders, creators, and visionaries were not the loudest in the room. They were often the calmest. Their stillness was intimidating. Their silence was powerful. Their discipline was unshakable. They didn't need to tell the world who they were. Their calm mind proved it every time they entered a room. Make no mistake, your calm mind is not just about what you avoid. It's about what you attract. You attract clarity. You attract strategy. You attract wisdom. You attract people who value precision over panic, depth over noise, strength over drama. That kind of attraction changes your trajectory. You start entering rooms you were once too reactive to step into. You start having conversations you were once too emotional to hold. You start commanding spaces you once shrank in, because you finally realize the power was never in the noise. It was in your ability to remain undisturbed by it. You become trusted, respected, admired, but more than that, you become free. Free from the emotional roller coaster that once hijacked your days. Free from the need to respond to everything. Free from the addiction to chaos. Free from proving, defending, chasing, pleasing. You stop needing the world to approve of you because you've already approved of yourself. And in that space, in that silence, in that calmness, your greatest work is born, your most brilliant ideas are downloaded, Your boldest moves are made because the battlefield is not out there, it's within you. And once you conquer it, everything else is strategy.